Welcome to Inclusive Matter Broadcast, and I hope that you've been following all other episodes. My name is Yinka Olaito. In this episode, we'll be looking at dealing with abusing in workplaces. Sometimes we do not know that we are victim or we are actually strengthening abusing in our workplaces, and we may think that we are not guilty of it. But we need to, first of all, understand what is abusing. Because if you don't understand what abusing is, you might not actually know that you are guilty of it. Abusing is assigning a value to the body of people, or assigning a mental construct of what the society thinks that what your body part or human being body part should be. It's assigning intelligence to people's brain and say, okay, if you are an able person, this is the level of thing that we should expect from you. But oftentimes we discover that abusing often leads to systemic oppression. There's nobody who says or who affirms that this is what a part should do. Now, if you do not know how, and you are still thinking that maybe you are not guilty of abusing, particularly in the workplaces or in your family, check these criteria. Number one, you will discover there is a mental construct of segregation. And when somebody cannot use a part of their body very well, you might think that, oh, they are not able. There's this discrimination that we have about people when we already have a mental construct of what their eyes should do, whether you must see clearly without a glasses, or that you must be able to think straight, or that you must be able to do this or that, or that you must be able to walk fast if you are an able person. These are vital indices to show that you are guilty of abusing. You also ought to see that there's a form of mental stereotype that you have about what body part should do. You want to see, oh, this is what a body part should do. So if the body part cannot do that effectively or efficiently, you begin to say that person is not able. Also, when you think about inaccessible barrier, what do you think? When you look at barriers, do you see that this may not be accessible or this may be accessible? These are a reflection of what we call abusing in workplaces. It's a mental construct. Oftentimes it's not showing, but it's a mental construct. It's something what we think about and what we assume should be. Now, what are the implications of abusing, whether within our family or within the workplace? You always think that there's not enough resources to go run for everybody, to take care of every person, to function at their maximum ability. Because when you already have a mental construct that this is what the body of this person should do or what he should not do, you begin to think about the shortage that you will have if you hire somebody whose body part cannot conform to your own understanding. Then you lack awareness of other person's challenges when you strengthen abusing. And then you begin to label some people as special. Now, somebody will now know that, oh, truly I'm guilty of abusing. You label people as special, or they're people of special need. Also, thing that you notice in the workplace where abusing is promoted is that there's always inadequate training for staff to understand and to make adequate consideration. A normal, adequate consideration for every other person. And then once a workplace strengthens abusing, other thing that will show immediately is that you will have a one-size-fits-all solution for everybody. You must be able to walk the stair. You must be able to climb the stair. You must be able to do this. You must be able to do that. So any workplace that strengthens abusing will have a one-size-fits-all for everybody. And that is really, really not good. Now, how do we deal with abusing within our workplace or within our family? We need to be self-aware. Self-awareness is something. You need to be aware that it doesn't matter, or it does not follow that my hand must be able to jump at a speed at which other people, my hand must be able to move at a speed at which other people's hand is moving. It doesn't mean that I have to be able to run at a speed at which other person can run. So if you are going to deal with abusing, you are going to begin to think think about self-awareness. We are going to be able to listen to everybody, listen to what they need. You want to be able to listen to everyone. Listening is a very critical factor when you don't want to be a victim or you don't want to strengthen ableism in your workplace. Other thing that you need to know to deal with ableism within the workplace is you need to show empathy. Empathy is wearing another person's shoe, that the person cannot climb very fast like you can climb, or that the person cannot move their hand or their body part like you can move, that the person cannot think at a faster rate like other person can think. It's a reflection that you need to show empathy to them so that you are not guilty of abusing within your workplace. Flexibility, you need to understand what flexibility means, meaning that you need to begin to think about, okay, how do I become flexible for everybody to be able to do their job without me having to assign or to have a mental construct. Other thing you will do if your workplace is not going to be guilty of abusing is advocacy. You need to begin to talk about it, that we are not all gifted the way in the same way. We cannot all think at a faster speed at the way other person will think at a faster speed. And then finally, dealing with abusing in your workplace or within the family setting or in our society mean that we have to be open to the challenges of others. When you listen and you show empathy, it's easier for you to be able to be open. You have to be open to what goes all around you. What are the challenges of every other person? And you have to begin to advocate and begin to talk about a step-up conversation that the other person cannot think at a faster rate that you can think, or the other person cannot work at a faster rate that you can work, does not mean that they are not able. It is just that is them. So these are the way to deal with abusing. Peradventure you are guilty of abusing within your workplace or within the family or within the society. You begin to segregate, you begin to do things that you should not do. It is time for us to begin to think about it and to work around it. Thank you for listening. We will see you in the next episode.